Ornstein Bomba, one of the worst kept secrets in world football, has finally been confirmed by a Tier 1 journalist. And Carlo Ancelotti...
You're finished. You're finished. You're finished. You're finished. Wallahi, you're finished. Wallahi, you're finished.
Now, I don't think that it takes a genius to predict what we have just received from the media outlets. I think the writing was on the wall. This manager was a dead man walking, especially for how this season has went. This has been one of the worst seasons that I've ever seen from Real Madrid, and I've been watching for 10 years. We are awful, and Carlo Ancelotti plays a big role in this. Now, he's not the only person at fault. Florentino Perez, you are on fraud watch. This summer, you better deliver. You better put in a 10 out of 10 performance, because what we've been seeing with the squad building over the last few seasons, it's been shit. And it's caught up to us this season. So yeah, Carlo Ancelotti, his head is on the chopping block. We all know the manager's going to be the one to get blamed the most. And I agree, he should be. And we'll talk about why. But Perez, don't think that you're safe. Don't think that we don't see you. Don't get voted out as president. I better see a revolution at this club in the summer window with some of the transfers and outgoings that we have. But let's get into what David Ornstein has tweeted. So he's dropped this, and he's basically confirmed that Carlo Ancelotti is expected to leave Real Madrid, and plus his preference from multiple options is to become the Brazilian head coach. Growing anticipation is that Xabi Alonso will succeed him at Real Madrid. We have a lot to break down right here. Now, you guys remember at the beginning of the season, I was Carlo in when things were going wrong. I was arguing with people on my live streams, the watch-alongs. They wanted Carlo out. I said, hold on, we cannot be sacking Carlo right now. This guy just won us a Champions League last season. But then as the season progressed, and after months of watching stinkers every single week, something in me started to change. And then we come to the Champions League, our competition, the trophy that we dominate, the trophy that we've won the most, 15 times. And we have a pretty important game in the league stage. We're going against AC Milan. And this is not a good AC Milan team. I mean, these guys couldn't even make the Champions League knockout stages. AC Milan are washed. They are shit. And these guys rocked up at the Bernabéu and have absolutely battered us that game. Morata scoring, Rafael Leao, the Portuguese Marcus Rashford, looking like prime Neymar against us at the Bernabéu. And something in me just snapped, and I've been Carlo out ever since then. Now, like I said earlier, I don't think that you need to be a Tier 1 journalist that has all these insiders giving you knowledge and feeding you information about what's going on at the club. I could have told you that Carlo Ancelotti was leaving this club, because this season has been awful. And just like what the Ornstein report says, the only question that I have is, will he be sacked before the Club World Cup or after? Now, you guys have heard me say multiple times, I want Carlo out before that Club World Cup, because with that tournament going on this summer, we're not going to really have a preseason. So while that is a big competition, and we do want to win that because the new format is going to make it a very prestigious trophy, and the winners will also get, I think, 100 million. So we have to win that. But I want a new manager leading us for that competition and heading into next season. I've seen a lot of success underneath Carlo Ancelotti, but this season He's been exposed. The football has left him. He is no longer capable of coaching at the highest level. I don't even know what the Brazil FA are thinking by bringing in Carlo. It's not going to be that much different from when Dorviel was there. No tactics, just individual brilliance and aura. That's all that Carlo offers you in 2025. Now, off the top of my head, for people that are going to get in the comment section and say, Real Madrid fans are so spoiled. Real Madrid fans are so ungrateful. Carlo's brought you multiple Champions Leagues, league titles, etc. And for that, I commend him. I told you guys, if Carlo wants to stay at Real Madrid, I would give him an ambassador role. Him not being our manager doesn't mean that his legacy is ruined. I don't think he's hurting us in terms of on purpose. I don't think Carlo is happy with what's going on. But I just don't think that he has the capabilities of how to turn this around. I mean, off the top of my head, I can name you a couple of reasons why Carlo needs to be sacked. One, we've just been shit. We are 9 months into the season. We just got knocked out of the Champions League by Arsenal. We've bottled La Liga. There still is the Copa del Rey final that we have. But based off how things been going against Barca this season, they might batter us again. 4-0 at home, losing to Barca. 5-2, losing to Barca in the Spanish Super Cup final. Losing to Liverpool. Losing to Lille. Losing to AC Milan. Losing to Valencia. Losing to Real Betis. Getting cooked by Sociedad every time we played them. Struggling to beat Leganés. Struggling throughout this entire season. Not starting Raul Asensio earlier when Militao got injured. Forcing Tchouaméni to play center back. Wasting another year of Arda Güler's development. Not utilizing Endrick. Not being able to show us any in-game adjustments. No tactics. We've literally gotten through this season with the power of friendship, individual brilliance, the power of brotherhood. That's been the tactics. I told you guys, when we were getting destroyed by Arsenal, Carlo Ancelotti probably walked in that locker room during halftime, raised his eyebrow, and then walked out. This has been coming. At Real Madrid, you cannot have the kind of season that we are currently having right now. It's unacceptable. Again, thank you for everything that Carlo has done for us. And I don't hate the guy, right? I think Carlo has brought us some great memories. But I think it's time to go. The football has left him. Again, if Carlo wants to remain at the club and be an ambassador, get a role up in like the technical areas of it with like Florentino Perez and being on the board or whatever, I'm all for it. But him being on the touchline, absolutely not. Now, Ornstein also has come out and said that his first preference is to become the Brazil manager, right? Now, obviously, Fabrizio Romano, he comes into it with his best Lewandowski impression, right? He does the tap in after Ornstein sets up the bomba. And he's come out and said that Brazil insists to have Carlo Ancelotti as new head coach. They want it to happen before the Club World Cup. Federation embassies in Madrid for days to approach Carlo's camp, saying also next week to accelerate. Ancelotti can really leave Real Madrid as reported. Now, if you guys don't know, right, the Brazil national team is my favorite. We do watch-alongs for them all the time, whether it's friendlies, the club, the World Cup qualifiers. We are usually watching Brazil on this channel. And I'm going to be real. I don't think that Carlo should be getting that job. Now, maybe you could say that with international football, you don't need to be as much of a tactician, right? Because you only get these players a few times throughout the season, and you're only playing like a handful of games throughout the season, unless there's an international tournament in the summer. So on that end, maybe it can work. But when we just see how Brazil have been struggling for a while now. Like, Brazil have been mid in these World Cup qualifiers. Brazil have been mid in that Copa America last summer where they got embarrassed. I just don't see how Carlo's going to come in and make things better. Now, yes, Vinicius is there. Rodrigo is there, right? These are players that have had success underneath Carlo at Real Madrid. But international football is very different. And I just don't see how is Carlo going to make a positive impact. Is Carlo better than Dorville Jr.? Sure. Because that guy, Peter Griffin, that was leading Brazil before, was a fraud. I'm surprised that it took him so long to get sacked. This guy should have been fired after that Copa America tournament. So, yeah, I think Carlo will do a slightly better job. But you have to realize he's not going to be using any of Brazil's youngsters, right? Like Esteval, Willian, Endrick, some of these other young guys who are coming through the ranks, you're cooked. Carlo does not trust the youth. Carlo's going to use the same tested players, and there's not going to be any tactics. It's going to be Vinicius, Rodrigo, Rafinha, all you men. Make something happen. Figure it out. No system. But again, you can't really have a system in international football. So from the man management side of things, I think Carlo is excellent. Carlo is one of the best man managers. The players all love him. But it's not enough. It's not. So, I mean, look, more than likely, he will be the Brazil manager. And even though I am a Brazil fan, I'm not really that positive about this move. But maybe he could surprise us, right? International football might be more his speed. We know that international football is also like a part-time job as well, because you don't have these players every single day. You're not running a day-to-day operation, basically, like you would at a club. So I can see the positives, but I'm just looking at it from an in-game management POV. How is he going to make an impact when Vinicius struggles for Brazil? All these Brazilian players underperform. So how is Carlo going to get the best out of them? He has one of the best CVs of all time. Carlo is one of the greatest managers that we've seen. But this season, it's kind of exposed him a bit for his lack of tactical awareness. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens, right? I think Carlo, after this season, should just leave. Whether that's to go to Brazil or retire. Who cares? I don't want him here for the Club World Cup. I think we have to bring in a new manager. But I don't want Carlo sacked right now. And the reason why Ornstein confirming that he may leave, or that more than likely he's gone, it's important because we've been seeing so many inconsistent reports about him being sacked after the Copa del Rey final. Oh, he might be sacked this week. No. Sacking Carlo right now makes no sense. The season is basically over. Allow him to finish this season. Allow him to end this season, and then you bring in another manager. What's the point of bringing in an interim right now? To do what? To sacrifice him with the squad that's underperforming? No. Let Carlo stay. But I want it to be known that by the time we play our last La Liga match, he's already going to be leaving. Let that be a farewell for Carlo. Because he does deserve something. Despite how bad this season's been, the guy's brought us 3 Champions Leagues, right? Like 2 La Ligas, multiple Club World Cups, like Spanish Super Cup. He's basically won everything. So he does deserve a send-off. And I think, again, his head is on the chopping block. Because despite how bad I think our recruitment has been in terms of we're not getting the signings that we need, our squad's still good enough to where we should not be looking awful like how we have been. So, yeah, let me know what you guys are saying about Carlo Ancelotti and him leaving Real Madrid at the end of the season. Now, the manager that is the favorite to take over, this is another secret that has just been known for a while. It's Xabi Alonso. It's a 99% chance that he is going to be the successor for Ancelotti at Real Madrid. And I told you guys that this was coming after last summer, right? When Xabi Alonso went invincible and won the Bundesliga with Leverkusen, right? Did the domestic double. He had the chance to leave. Liverpool needed a new manager. Bayern needed a new manager. And he rejected both of them to stay at Leverkusen. Now, let's get one thing very clear. It's not because Leverkusen are some big, attractive club. No, it's because he wanted that Real Madrid job. And it looks like he's going to get it. Now, Xabi Alonso, we'll talk about it more once the news gets confirmed about him coming in. But we all know he's not my first choice. You guys know I want Jurgen Klopp. But I'm not upset if Xabi Alonso becomes our new manager. What he's done at Bayer Leverkusen has been very impressive. He's disrupted that Bundesliga. Bayern München were winning it every single year for a decade plus. He comes in out of nowhere like a wrecking ball, and he wins Leverkusen their first Bundesliga. He makes them a relevant club. I like the tactics that I see from him. He's a very adjustable manager. Sometimes they're in the back three. Sometimes they're in the back four. They play possession-based attacking football. I think he will be able to cook with our squad. So this is definitely one that we are going to talk about moving forward, right? But I believe Xabi Alonso will be our next manager, right? Obviously, like I said, I wanted Jurgen Klopp, but I think that Xabi has proven himself as a manager. Don't forget, he was also pretty successful for us as a player as well. And when I look at the squad that we have, when I look at the lack of tactics that we've been employing throughout this season, I need a manager that's going to come in, that's going to instill a system, that's going to be able to get the best out of the squad that we have. I'm tired of getting cooked every single week when we have a better team than 99% of the guys that we're going against. So we could do a tactical breakdown and all these other things in another video once Xabi Alonso is confirmed to be my manager. But I hope that he does come in before the Club World Cup. Let that be his preseason and his first test to see how he handles being at Real Madrid. And for everybody that's saying, well, what if Xabi Alonso doesn't work out? Then guess what? We'll sack him too. So I'm not worried. The standards are up here. This season has been one of the worst. This is up there with Zidane's last season at Real Madrid. This is up there with the 18-19 season. Those are the three worst seasons that I've seen in the 10 years that I've been watching. I'm ready for this season to end. I'm just going through the motions. We look shit. We're not going to win the UCL. We're probably not going to win La Liga. And the Copa del Rey final is looking like another Barca masterclass against us. But I want to know what you guys are saying about all the news that has come out recently. Because Fabrizio Romano has confirmed the Xabi links. He's confirmed that Carlo wants to go to Brazil. That's his first choice if he does leave. And then Ornstein has just told us what I think we already knew. But to end off on this Xabi topic, Fabrizio says that Xabi Alonso remains top priority for Real Madrid to replace Ancelotti. Plan is clear for months. Still waiting for formal steps. Leverkusen will not stand in Xabi's way. They're aware of his desire to join Real since he turned down the Premier League and Bayern approaches to stay 1 year ago. And for anybody that's going to come in here and talk about how Xabi Alonso's not been performing that well at Leverkusen this season, I don't think he was ever going to be able to replicate what he did last season. The guy went invincible. The only way for him to have performed better was to go invincible again. And that's not going to happen. Yeah, in the Champions League, he's made some weird decisions that got them knocked out. But, I mean, that Leverkusen squad, where were they before Xabi Alonso came in? Nobody was talking about them. He's overachieved. Now, who knows how he'll do with the pressure at Real Madrid? Because now it's like you have to win. Where at Leverkusen, him winning was just a bonus. As long as they finished in the top six, Leverkusen would have been happy. There's no really pressure on him. But look, he's played for the club. He knows what it means. And again, I'm just looking forward to seeing a manager that has a positive style of play. But get in the comment section. Let me know what you guys are saying about Carlo Ancelotti leaving the club. Let me know what you guys are saying about Xabi Alonso potentially becoming our next manager. I need you guys to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, get in the comment section, and join the Discord. The link is pinned down below. Holla Madrid.